It's letting us know that 1/4 is fiber. So you always want to go here. The bottom, less leverage is pinch where the harder shell is at. People slip and fall all the time. And of course our tool is a little bit more on the risky side. It's a head of a pickaxe.
Right.
We wanted to show our guests like a cultural thing, and lava rocks is what we use to have the same image, but you know, they're not. Plus machetes, they're a little overrated. Just go ahead, pull on the side, you can watch them hack away at it. We stick it in the top a couple of inches away. Then we apply pressure down and away from the sharp object, and it easily pulls. A lot of people, the reason why they think it's so difficult is because they stab it to this, you know, after making all these holes. They figure, oh, this must be a really hard thing to open, but nah, just gotta get that technique. But you really want the first 2 pieces off so you can see everything a lot clearly. Normally when you do the first 2 pieces, it's hard, not strength-wise, but you don't see anything. You don't know if you're hitting something or you're doing it right. So that's always the key thing, is try to get 2 pieces off, and then everything becomes more vivid. The fiber that's protecting it, we actually will strip them strand by strand to make the actual rope.
Right.
So rope was made out of that fishing line and net because they tolerate a lot of salt water. This is why coconuts were able to sell in the sea and have themselves somewhere different. So places like India, Samoa, Tonga, they always believe that coconuts originally came from them. In Hawaii, because we're descendants of Tahitian people, we arrived on the islands, coconuts were already growing, so we believe it's a Mother Nature thing. On documentation, Portuguese were the first to write it down, so they will be found in the books, dictionaries, and whatnot. I just had a gentleman from India, about 2 or 3 tours before this, and he was like, "Did you know it comes from India?" This and that. And I was like, "Well, our belief is Mother Nature," and you know, it's that question like, which came first, the egg or the hen? You don't know, and it's beautiful not to know some stuff, you know? Let it go. But yeah, so we just believe Mother Nature did her thing, and now we're here. So in these grocery stores, this is how they normally stitch your coconut. They have this fibery bits. Take them apart. You're actually going to find a little face on here, like 3 dots. It's kind of placed on here. Sometimes people kind of consider them like a monkey or a bowling ball or little mice, whatever, whoever, doesn't matter. Out of the 3 dots, one of them is the germinal spore. Because they're the world's largest seed, they're able to produce their trees. But this is the germinal spore. We can kind of see it already. And
so in nature, this would grow. The tree would germinate from there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it needs all the fibers to help, you know, act as a mochi. So this is now the dead seed of it all. But if for some reason you can't find where the eyes or the mouth is, the screwdriver, something slender and pokey will actually be helpful, because the 2 that is similar in form is hard. The one that is not is able to sink through, because that's your germinal spore. So during voyaging, this is important. The greener ones, coconuts, all coconuts were brought in because they can be eaten and drunk at all stages. This here is coconut water. Normally the coconut water, when they're older like this, they don't have much of a flavor. A lot of the flavor has developed the meat, and you always got to watch the coconut water. You want to make sure they're clear. If it looks more like coconut milk, the reason why people's toilet is their best friend, like a natural laxative, is because it's bacterial water. So that white part isn't supposed to be there naturally, so it's going to mess with your stomach. But coconut milk, which is what that is mistaken for, coconut milk comes from the meat. You have to like put it in a food processor or whatnot. But yeah, the water is really good and healthy when it's clear. This was a long time ago, it was hush hush, but they just recently exposed the information. World War II on December 7th, they used coconut water as blood transfusion. It has like similar pages of blood system. So the reason why they kept it hush hush is because they didn't want the soldiers' families to be, you know, panic or scared or want to sue, because at this time it wasn't a medical practice for the states. It was something that was used in Hawaii and a lot of third world countries, because this is what we had to work with at the time. So they took a chance, but it helped save a lot of soldiers' life. And there's a Marine man in the beginning of January of this year who came on the tour, and he told the guests and I about the military has a different tactic that's going on where they're trying to teach their soldiers to use Mother Nature as their reliable source. So they just actually found out how to use the coconut water's blood transfusion. They had taken the green coconuts, put in the IV bags and stuff. And it's good because a lot of times the war is trying to help third world countries outlets. You know, like Vietnam, they were trying to help the South with the North issue. So if they go to a third world country, at least they're going to have a little bit of knowledge So to crack open the coconut, I'm going to use a rod, get a little native, but the flatter side of the hammer works. You got to look for the face, because in between each of the dots, there's these ridges. The one that's in between the eyes is considered a weakened point. So you got to know where the eyes and the mouth sit. These two connect, so they got grip and stability. They're sturdy. This here, you want to hold in your hand. You're shaping your hand to the shape of the coconut. Provides grip. You want to have a cloth or a glove present so that your hand doesn't sting a bit. If it's on a flat surface, it is a lot dangerous than people imagine. They're opposite, so it doesn't end well. But have a nice good grip. Crack it right there. Nice firm crack. Once you have your first cracking done, you stop. You want to then tap the lining. This is how you're going to manipulate the shape to becoming a bowl or a cup. That's how we were able to make everything. So we always kind of met them to it. But this is really good. Because of the coconut water being so clear, the coconut meat is so nice and white. So it's good because that means there's a lot of flavor in here. Now the coconut, when they're fresh, they actually do taste more like creamy almond. A lot of the coconuts that are in our grocery stores, they're the adolescent stage. So they're about 6 to 9 months old, where they're partly developed. They're supposed to have a longer shelf life to develop on there, but sometimes from point A to point B, you don't know how long it's been like that. You don't know, if they had turned already. You just gotta buy them and crack them and see if it's good or not. So this is the more mature stage. So this one will taste a lot better in flavor and everything else. So let me these little pieces. The brown part is good. You can actually eat them. It's like skin if you wanted to. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to. Mother Nature will eat it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just get his reaction and I'll stop.